So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be going over the best places to basically spawn in this new series that we have. And I'm going to be doing this with Photoshop because then it's the easiest way for me to really show you the pros and cons and the pathway that you'd be moving. Because in game it wouldn't really make sense to do it because I can show you all of the possibilities of where you could go with this by simply like editing it ahead of time and then showing you guys. So before we start this, I'll show you guys the pros and cons. So obviously the pros and cons are there's a ton of chests where you're going to land. There's a lot of loot, like a lot of loot that you can get along your rotations. There's not a lot of players, which is a good thing. Well, most of the time there's not a lot of players. We'll cover that though in a moment. Pro players will use this place to win grind. They always drop here if they have the chance. That is if the plane permits it and if the zone permits it. So we'll cover that a little bit more later as well. You'll have less fights, which, depending on what you're going for, could be a pro or it could be a con. Like if you're going for a high kill game, you don't want to be doing this method. This is a method for trying to get wins. So if you're just trying to go for high kill games, obviously you're not going to be wanting to do this. You're going to want to drop like retail, dusty, tilted, those places, so on. Maybe even you could land right here, maybe even. You can land Pleasant. It just depends on, usually, if you want to go for a high kill game, usually it's going to be one of the first places the battle bus goes across. So that could be one of the best places to go to, or close to it even. We'll cover that more in a different episode though. But for right now, you can, with this place where you land at, you can get max wood really, really fast. It has decent iron. It doesn't have it doesn't have the best amount of stone though, so that's a slight disadvantage. But I mean, if you're going for a win, you don't really need stone. If you have tons of wood and iron, you're pretty much good. There's a lot of vending machines along the way, which we'll cover as well. There's enough loot if you want to go in squads. So in duos, squads, solos, this strategy can work. I use it a lot in my live streams if you guys tune into those, and when I'm playing like competitive matches. Usually if you drop at the end of the battle bus, you're not gonna find any squads really landing with you. But if you do, if you drop at the very start of the battle bus, where say the plane's going from, let's say the plane's going from here to over here to Whaling, right? There's gonna be a crazy amount of players over here. There's gonna be like probably 2 to 3 squads over here landing if you do it that way. Say though it's opposite. It's going from Wailing Woods to here. That means it's gonna be the scenario where it's going to be like probably only your team landing there, right? The best scenario where you'd want to land here is, say the plane is going from right here at the top. Let's say the plane's going from here all the ways down to right here. Then it's a perfect scenario because the plane is going to be, it's going to be so far away, honestly, from where the bus is. So you can fly from like right here over to here, and you'll be so far away from the battle bus that not many players will be close to you at all. The closest players would probably land right here and right here and right here. So knowing that, you could easily just choose a strat depending on one of these lines. We'll cover that in a moment as well. So the other con of this before we start is there's a small chance that one squad, well, sometimes there's 2 to 3 squads landing, 1 to 2 squads landing in flush, but when you get, by the time you're done looting up the spot that we'll cover, there should only be 1 squad left, and they'll probably be weakened too, so you don't have too much to worry about, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So where you're going to want to land is, you're going to want to land right here on the map. I call it Pallet Town. Some people call it other stuff like industrials and so on. You're going to want to land here. What I usually do is I usually land right here on this building on the X, and then I'll either land on this one or this one, right? And then what I do is I go from here to here, and then I don't usually get chimney. It's a rare event that I'll take the chimney chest. These 2 chests are in the house. you want to rotate from there. You'll want to come out here, mine these 2 pallets right here. There's a pallet chest right here and a pallet chest, not chest, but there's pallets right there and there. You can go to this one right here right after and get that chest from the truck. Then you can rotate to these ones. You can also rotate to this side if you want, but the fastest method I find is typically from either, well, it depends on your pathway that you're going to take and where the squads are landing. But usually I would land here, then here, then here, then here, then here, and then loop back to here and here, go around there, and then get these ones if you're on solos and nobody else is with you. Then what you're going to want to do is loop back over here. So again, since you landed here, by the time you're done looting this, there should be about 60% of whatever the amount of lobby you have left in the lobby by that time. And then you're going to start pushing over here. Usually at this little spot right here, you're going to have the other squad pushing you at that point because they're going to be done looting as well. So you're going to not want to push exactly this way. You might want to loop around this way and rotate. And yeah, because that way you have high ground. This right here, if you go up this way, you can have high ground on them and you can shoot down at them when they're moving into you. So you can easily win that fight if you do it that way. But either way, you move in over here. Take these, and then you're going to want to go through this chest location. At this point, you might not have enough time. So easiest chest to get really faster. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Check those. On your way back, there should be one as well, actually, right here, around here. There should be one with a box that you can break. So check that one, and then move back over here. And you're gonna want to go this way. By the way, at that point, there should be about 40% of the lobby remaining. So you can easily, you're nearly at a win just from looting that much. Then you're gonna keep going over here. Make sure you get your pallets. Make sure you get all of the pallets, by the way, from this spot that we talked about, the loot spot. This is called Pallet Town for a reason. You're going to want to mine every single pallet you see here. That way, by the time you're done, you should have at least 600 to 1,000 wood, depending on if you got all of them and if you mined enough. It depends, though. Then you're gonna want, if you see a chest coming when you're coming over here, you can go from here and get this chest, then move over here and get the rest. Sometimes you might find enemies here, and you might find it looted. So you gotta be careful. Usually, what they do though, if they looted up this spot, they're gonna be either on this hill, over here at bridge, or they're going to have already pushed over here to this town. So you can play it how you want and how zone determines, but usually, regardless of zone, usually I try to get this pathway in. If the zone is close, like over here, then usually you can do this pathway. Sometimes you have enough time to do Pallet Town and Flush, and then you'll have to bail back to over here along the way, because the zone might be over here, right? Or the third possibility is that the zone is over here. So you can go through this pathway still. Then you're going to want to cross through a bridge and then over here onto the hill. Usually that's what I do because then you have high ground in case you see someone on this side. I've had a whole bunch of fights at endgame where I literally did this rotation and then the enemies are here. Even one of them was on my YouTube channel. It was a fast little rotation that we did. And it was an easy win because we literally had to fight no one. And we just looted up and we had tons of loot. And endgame was just like one fight and we won. So that's one way to win easily. There's a lot of chests over here as well. As you can see, there's 4 of them up here. If I counted correctly, there should be 4. And as well, in case you didn't get enough loot that you needed to, sometimes it happens. Like some of us have bad days with RNG. There is a vending machine right here next to X. There should be one. I think there's one in this town. There is one in this town as well. And there's one that should be... I think there's one on the bridge, but I'm not entirely sure. But I do know there's one right here as well on the hill. So either way, you have like 3 vending machines all within a minute of each other that you can rotate from. So this is a really strong position that you guys can play off of. And by the time you're done even looting this little chair town, right? We call it chair because this spot right here is shaped as a chair. There should be about 25% of the lobby remaining from there. So if you do this strategy, you have a high chance of winning, especially if you're in squads. If you're in squads, you have a high chance, especially at late game. If you play passive after you finished up looting all of this, that's an easy win. If you want to play aggressive and try to get more kills, if you're with a good squad, you can do that too, and you can still secure the win. But if you're just on solos trying to get that easy win, this is a really good pathway that can help you get that easy win. I hope you guys found this useful. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys all in the next one. And also, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications if you guys want to learn how to completely wreck others in Fortnite. Reach for the top and subscribe to get daily tips and tricks and videos, guys, and live streams. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, leave a comment down below telling me if this worked for you, if you guys think this new series that we're doing is good, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for watching.